Hey, welcome back to part 8 of our ever expanding, what do you call it, critical feedback, something like that series, where we discuss how to give good feedback and how to not give good feedback, and have it be constructive. Yeah, something like that. Check out the previous episodes if you're interested in some of the other sections we've gone over. Today we're covering number 8 here, which is feedback about productivity, how to give it and how to not give it, how to give it positively, how to give it negatively, and then how to give it inappropriately negatively. As always, we're looking for 4 things here, right? There's 4 big building blocks of good constructive feedback, and the first is discussing the pain or the problem. The second is bringing up the consequences of that pain or the problem. The third is the expectations, what was expected. And fourth is following up with ideas of how to improve. So without further ado, let's jump in here. So feedback about productivity, appropriate positive example. I just wanted to let you know that your hard work has not gone unnoticed. Thank you for the extra effort you've been putting in recently. You are a testament to the department and the company. All right, so here it doesn't really mention the pain or the problem you're solving. It does mention that your hard work has not gone unnoticed. So you do see that because of your extra work, there is some consequences there. It doesn't really talk much about the expectations. Um, but it does maybe, I guess, appear that you're exceeding those expectations. And it doesn't really give any follow-up ideas to improve. Now, this is common, right? With all this positive feedback we've seen, it's less likely to follow these. It feels like almost if there's positive things to say, people don't really care to follow these main talking points or building blocks, which is kind of understandable. You can kind of get it. It matters a lot more with negative feedback. So let's jump to that one. This is appropriate negative feedback. It's been noted that your productivity has suffered in recent weeks. I'd like to see you back up to your previous levels, and if there's anything the company needs to help, please let me know. We'll schedule a meeting a week from now to check on your progress. This is another great example. First, the pain is obvious. Your productivity has suffered. What isn't obvious here is the consequences of that. It would be really nice to be like, hey, it doesn't feel like you're as being as productive. You've missed X next deadline, or these things didn't get done. Right? Those consequences help solidify and really help take away some of the ambiguity about the feedback that's being received here. The expectations are really nicely laid out here, though. Right? Like I want to see you back to your previous productivity levels. So the previous productivity levels was the expectation. Nice, laid out, great. And then this one actually leaves 2 ideas here. Is there anything the company do can help? And let's schedule a meeting. Right? There's 2 different ways that you guys can get on the same page and be on the same team moving forward. So great example of feedback there. Looking at the inappropriate negative example, you're not working hard enough anymore. You need to get back up to speed with everyone else as soon as possible. So the pain, you're not working hard enough. Got it. No consequences. Consequences are really good to just make something concrete. It gives a concrete example. You didn't do this, therefore this, right? Or you did this, therefore this. And that therefore can really help people understand and look for those situations. This also doesn't really talk much about the expectations other than working hard, which is kind of subjective. Now, if you're talking about a productivity level, that's different than working hard, interestingly enough, and at least that has an expectation associated with it. And getting back up to speed with everybody else, this puts everything on the person that is receiving the feedback here, right? There's again a conflict. There's no us on the same team, right? So if we were going to look at this and try to be a little bit better, the ways we could think about it is trying to understand, okay, what's the pain? Hey, you're not getting things done that we need to get done. Your productivity has slipped, and in consequence, we've missed deadlines. We expect you to be able to produce at this level. Let's talk about ways we can get you on the same page as us and move these things forward, right? Like that's probably actually not the best example of feedback, but if you cover those 4 main points, you at the end, especially with ideas, you get them back on your team and you help people move forward. You also make sure they know the expectations and you give them clear, concrete examples of why the behavior, the pain that you're pointing out, why has it been a pain? And you work from there. Great. If you have other questions about this, or you're just interested in how we've gone through the other portions of feedback, we've talked about arriving late. We've talked about not having leadership initiative. We've talked about a bunch of other different pieces of feedback. Check out some of the past ones. We'll still be going through them. There'll be 30 of these in the series. So I encourage you to watch as many of them as make sense. And hopefully, when you're looking to try and give feedback to people in these situations, it can give you an idea of better ways to do it. Now, if you're trying to give feedback about productivity, make sure you come with strong consequences. Help people understand the expectations, how productive we expect you to be, and the consequences of where they have been previously. If you're trying to make that correction, help them understand what it does to the team, what it does to the company, and why it's so important. And then, follow up with those ideas. Make sure you end up on the same team as the people that you're giving feedback to. That's the overarching thing that you'll hear again and again.